two fellas from Kansas and a whatever from Indiana
are looking for the signs and into the stars for the perfect pair of motion pictures.
out there.
A couple of flicks, 3 corn-fed cinephiles, otherworldly connections.
This is the Midwestern Crop Circle Double Feature.
Yet another movie podcast. Welcome to the Midwestern Crop Circle Double Feature. Ba-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-dum, di-da-da-da-da-dum, be-de-de-de-de-de-de. I'm Zay. Welcome. Christian is looking to see if the rest of the audience is clapping and getting out of their seat. And
I'm just like, you had so many options for music. You could have used Seasons of Love.
Nope.
You could have did anything by the composer guy.
Never heard of it.
You know, I
Sondheim?
don't know. Sure, sure.
Or any piece of Mozart. Is
Yeah,
that the composer guy you were?
Yes.
Nope. Didn't think of that. Should we do round 2? Should I take two?
Nope, too late. That's
late.
the intro.
All right, here we are. Oh, and Brett's here too.
Hi.
Brett tonight is doubling as Falco, so I'm assuming Edie Falco. Of some reason. I don't know. He knows his basketball team got kicked out of the tournament
They did.
very early on. He didn't get a popcorn bucket that he wanted from Regal Cinemas.
Wait, which popcorn
And-
bucket?
He's going through a divorce. So
Oh my God.
Because I didn't get said bucket.
there you go.
It all crumbled from there.
Was it the Devil Wears Prada?
No, it was not.
It's a Project Hail Mary bucket.
Oh, okay. I was like, why is this a
The
secret?
Rocky one.
Right. Brett, say something. Dead air.
I thought the helmet one was cool.
I don't
I
think
mean,
I
sure,
saw-
but I wanted
Wouldn't
little
spend money
Rocky
on it,
for
but-
my shoulder.
Yeah, that was cool too. It's been a while.
Been a while.
Last
remember
time
that
we were
song.
recording, PTA and Ryan Coogler were not Oscar winners.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
They are now.
I like the award show. It was fun.
Good time.
I got 18 out of 24. Those two got 17 out of 24.
Actually, I got mine wrong somehow. I got
Oh my
15.
God. Oh my God.
I did really bad.
Wow. What did you miss?
All the shorts, the doc, casting,
Hmm.
best picture. I really thought there was going to be like a Sinners, just like Renaissance.
I think we were riding on vibes.
Yeah.
I was the only one in my group that I made do these that got director.
Mm. I got
Oh.
director because I still thought BTA was going to get that.
I just think it's good that, the one award that everybody was excited for, that everybody really thought needed to happen. Everybody was just clamoring that, Sean Penn should have 3 acting Oscars. Everybody wanted that. So
The
That
day after, they were like, he's in the same vein as Meryl, as Jack Nicholson, as Ingrid Bergman. And I said, shut your damn mouths.
At least the attention's no longer on should Frances McDormand have 3 Oscars?
She's free. But what's funny is like he was my personal supporting actor of last year.
yeah,
So
it's
I don't-
actually
I-
a really good performance.
I'm not complaining. But I also think that this should have been like his first because I'm not a Mystic River him winning supporter, and I'm not a him Milk winning performer person. I'm very much Mickey Rourke for that year.
I think
So,
his performance for Milk is way overhyped.
oh, here we go.
Let
me get a chair.
That's all I have to say. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm not turning into Clint Eastwood here. I'm not taking Mr. President by the knee. And
But, what else? Who else won? Actress was Jessie, which was,
to be expected.
yeah.
The one.
Oh, that's
Michael B.
also
Walk in the
Jordan.
Night.
Yeah, actor I got wrong because I did not think they'd actually give it to Michael.
Wow, you just went against, and you said, you know what? White people forever.
See, that was me with Amy Madigan. I didn't think they'd actually go there.
See, and that one I got
That's
right.
cool.
You doubted yourself. That's crazy. Hers is going to be interesting because it's like her and Jamie Lee Curtis kind of having the same trajectory as like they've been in the industry X amount of years. They finally win, but I'm sure Amy will go back into like, we'll see her maybe one movie every other year
Yeah.
in like a
Yeah.
5-minute walk-on role, and then everybody will be like, she had a good win. Meanwhile, Jamie Lee Curtis could do the same thing, and everybody's like, fuck her and her Oscar win.
Well, at least Amy hasn't pivoted to being a Zionist yet.
This is true.
Trauma.
You know who I really doubted was SAG. I mean, they don't even know their name anymore. They're changing their name, and they don't like international performances. Yet they still went 4 for 4. Crazy.
The big discussion with my group chat I was also with was Renata and her dress getting stepped on, and like you could see the side of her butt, and because my friend was very worried.
Did you forget what the word butt was, or were you afraid of saying it out loud?
I was afraid of saying it. I didn't want to offend, but they were very afraid for her. But also, like, the movie that had the most English in it wins international feature. Just gonna be that person. This is me not being a fan of sentimental value.
My favorite was, I do not care about fucking betting apps or whatever, but I was advertised. No, it was on fucking Rotten Tomatoes. They were like, here are what this app thinks are gonna win Best Supporting Actress. Poor Elle Fanning, less than 1%.
Oof.
I guess it's me today, isn't it?
Mhm.
It is you.
Well, y'all, I've been through a doozy, which is why it's been a while. My dad passed. He loved movies. So tonight, we're gonna be talking about movies about death. Which is like, that's so ironic. And that wasn't obviously planned, but it's what it is. So yeah, but they're good movies. And one of which is a Best Picture, which I think we'll start with that one because why not? That's the oldest one of our two. So our first movie is a little movie, which I'm like in the canon of Best Picture winners, it's in the top 20 for me. I have not looked at Brett's list yet because he probably has still unblocked from a letterbox, so we'll see where it lands for him. But it is 1984's Amadeus, based upon a play, which I looked because I was curious. It has not been revived, I don't think, in the United States, which it's kind of crazy because it's like, I don't know, I feel like somebody could revive it pretty well. And yeah, but it's not a 100% factual true story about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, which I'm sure if you just look up his name, you listen to some of his music and you'll be like, oh wait, I know that bit of music. That's Amadeus. But composer from like the 1700s, I think. 1800s. Well, 1800s. And his rise to fame against another composer. I'm sorry. Well, first of all, Amadeus is played by Tom Hulce, who went on to voice the role of Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Dom? Notre Dame's the college. Could you imagine? Hunchback of Notre Dame, he doesn't do anything anymore. Like, I looked at his IMDb, I looked at his Wikipedia page. He does nothing with himself anymore. He produces Broadway musicals, but it's been a while. Like, he was lead producer on Spring Awakening. But of course, I just fucking find this. He's a producer on the most recent revival of Chess with Lea Michele. So we can just slap our names on anything. But yeah, that's what he does nowadays. He is a producer of Broadway. He's a very good singer. Just, FYI. And that's from coming from hearing him in Hunchback. But yeah, so he's Amadeus in this. And as I was saying briefly, it's his rise to fame, popularity, and eventual death, next to a story of really obsession and rivalry. My God, it's a heated rivalry. No, it's not. Believe me, it's not. With another composer, Antonio Salieri, who, real guy, played by F. Murray Abraham, which it always kind of baffles me that, like, this is F. Murray Abraham and he's still alive. And he's in many movies that we like, um, especially Brett. He's in a lot of Wes Anderson's later movies, like in the more modern day and age. I mean, he's in. I think the last big thing he was in was the White Lotus too, because I remember that. And then he's also had some issues lately. So yeah, we'll get into that. But anyway, he's the one who won an Oscar here. I think they're both great in this movie. But like I said, this is told from the point of view of Salieri, who is an old man. Brett texted me the makeup, and this is great. It really is great. Like Salieri is playing diva, and I feel like I take a lot from this old decrepit man of telling the story of how he got to know this guy who was younger than him and everybody really fawned over him and loved him while he's still trying to make his own way as composer to Emperor Joseph II, who's played by Jeffrey Jones. To which then everybody goes, "Oh, that guy from like Beetlejuice. Whatever happened to Jeffrey Jones?" Well, we don't talk about Jeffrey Jones anymore. But every time I see Jeffrey Jones, I think he's in the movies I've liked as a child, but now we don't talk about Jeffrey Jones. Go look that up if you need to.
Just pulled it up. Did not know about that.
Oh my God, really?
Oh, you didn't ask
I'm not-
yourself why he wasn't in Beetlejuice 2?
Not much of a Jeffrey Jones connoisseur.
Wow. Guess you didn't grow up with like Beetlejuice
You're not his type.
or wow. Anyway,
I had a lot of questions while watching Beetlejuice 2 about just the movie itself, so that one might have slipped my mind. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, like I said, as Amadeus is like growing in popularity around this time too, he's also making really big steps to branch out of just like composing music and making operas. So this is not Timothée Chalamet's favorite movie by all means. But he has written many famous operas. In this movie, they really focus on, I think one is, oh my God, Figaro, The Marriage of Figaro, which if like the opening to Mrs. Doubtfire, where Robin Williams is voicing the bird, and it's like Figaro, Figaro, that one. And then the Magic Flute, which is like, I looked up operas that are easy for first-time listeners. The Magic Flute is considered one of the easiest because it's pretty much a fairy tale, but just how revolutionary they were at this time, and he didn't want them to be in like the standard language of, oh God, I think
Italian,
Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they made such a big deal about that, but he's like, no, I am going to make these into like German language because this is around Austria at the time and everything. But again, as that's going on too, Salieri like haunts this guy in his own way and is like, yo, I want you to write me a requiem mass. And that really gets to the heart of Amadeus, who has lost his father. Oh my God, fuck this movie. It's fucking crazy. Nobody's asking me to write a requiem mass.
I'll
but,
just show up at your home and wearing the mask of your father.
There you go. But this It's basically a torment thing. Like, he's tormented by the death of his father, and Salieri disguising himself as his father and wanting him to write this mass for the dead, essentially. And it really takes a turn for Amadeus where he gets sick and is basically on death's door, but he still can write. And it's such a beautiful scene. Like, I don't know what you would call it, like the bed scene where him and Salieri are basically sitting together. Amadeus is telling him what to write down on paper, and Salieri is just like composing it, and it's a whole thing. It's wonderful. But yeah, no. So, and this movie is this, like I said, it's about Salieri and his really wanting penance for murdering, quote unquote, Amadeus, which if you then look up any history of Amadeus himself, he was buried in like a mass grave, so we don't really know where he's buried. They may or may not have found his skull at one point, like 30 plus years ago. You know, who knows? But anyway, yeah, this is a fantastic film. I made us watch the theatrical version because I was like, Brett's never seen this. Let him watch theatrical. There is an extended version. I'm not too sure exactly what is added to this. I think that the costumes in this are wonderful. The production is all pretty much filmed in Vienna at the locations that this stuff is taking place in. But I think that the biggest thing for me that I really like is that this cast is mostly an American cast. So you don't get that hoity-toity period piece of like stuffy British people. And even if they are British people in this, they're using American accents, which I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. But I think for me, it's palatable. Is that the word? Did I say that right? Okay, cool. Um, because I'm not listening to the hoity-toity British, love the British though, um, of a period piece. Like, this is a period piece that does not feel like one. Like, you can make this today. Like I said, if you revive this on Broadway with a director who sets this in a modern time, but we're still in like, the 1800s, it's going to still feel the same. So this is directed by Miloš Forman, who also did One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, among many other movies. But yeah, I don't know. I really love Amadeus, and that's all I got for that.
I disagree. You couldn't make this today. It's too late. You gonna make it in a couple hours? We need more time.
What?
You said you could make this today, and I disagree. It takes a long time to make a movie. You can't just make it today.
Shut the hell up.
Am I next?
Let's know. I want to hear the one who's seen this before.
Okay.
I have. I do not.
Put your video game down.
Shh, you don't know what I'm doing.
It got dark in that room real fast,
It
and
did.
that head is right there. It's creeping me out.
Yeah, so this is a movie I've always really liked. I do not remember the first time I watched it. It was probably on cable, and I just like watched it there. Um, that's not much of a cable movie though. That's like 4.5 hours of your time if you're watching on
Yeah.
cable. Anyway, yeah, quite like this movie. We have started doing a music series at Can, and I was like, hey, why don't we show Amadeus since we're like gonna be showing the Oscars here? And they took it and ran with it. It was a pretty good packed audience because that's how I watched it. I watched it in the theater because I'm good like that. Um, but it was like 90 people in that theater, and it was really fun to watch with just a full crowd like that. Um, yeah, I agree.
Wait, didn't you sent a story about like an old lady asking if this is for an assignment for
Oh,
something?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was at the concession stand, and this lady was like, "Why are there so many people here?" And I was like, "Oh, everyone's seeing Amadeus." And she's like, "Oh, for like a class project?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? Just because they look." I don't know. Like, our audience is mostly like 30-year-olds. So what do you think? They're all college students? I don't understand. Um, it's just funny because when I was looking up things for the social media, the thing that kept popping up was like Amadeus Part 88 on TikTok. And I was like,
Oh my God.
is this popular? Is this like one of those movies they watch entirely on TikTok? But yeah, I like it a lot. I love its energy. I agree with Christian that I am not a period this is a dramedy for sure. But I'm not a period drama person. I have my exceptions, of course, but for the most part, they just do not appeal to me. I'm a Hamnet hater. Say what you want. Um, but yeah, I quite liked it. I love its energy. It just I don't know. It it makes you feel like you can be excited about these like hoity-toity ideas. Like you you go to school to learn about Mozart and you're like, this is the most inescapable thing I can think of. Like, how could I possibly relate to Mozart? But you watch this movie and you're like, I get it. He's just a guy. And he like the best part of like just an idea of like a true artist who does not take himself so seriously and it drives someone who can't achieve his success mad because he's like, I take it way more seriously than you and look at me.
Mad to the point that he gets the obsession with him and is like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck you up so much, kid.
Yeah, crazy. That is such an like a great aspect of the film, I think. Just like his obsession and just like you've never seen a hater hate as much as this guy. Um, but yeah, I my coworker who watched the movie had never seen it before, knew nothing about it, and literally they were like, "This is fine. I don't like." Through like the first half of the movie, they were like, "This is fine. I'm not too crazy about it." But then the second that fuck, what's the other guy's name?
Salieri?
Salieri. The second Salieri shows up in his father's and Mozart's father's mask, they were just like leaned in. I was like, hold on. They were like, this is getting important. But yeah, yeah, this is one of my favorite Best Picture winners, probably top 15, which is like a very the top 15 are all like I love these movies, so for sure.
I will say before Brett gets into it, the poster before I like ever had seen this movie, the poster this scares me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like from a distance without zooming in, I don't know what the hell is happening. And it's like the mask, the headpiece, and everything. And I've always thought like, ooh, it's a box that he's pointing at or something, like Raiders of the Lost Ark. But you zoom in and it's Vienna. And
Mm,
it's like the city. But it's just like it draws you in to be like, I want to see what this movie is about.
hmm
Plus the tagline of the man, the music, the madness, the murder, the motion picture.
I love that.
It makes you feel like you're in for an epic.
Right. Okay, now Brett, who has never seen this movie before.
Never seen it, and I was pretty resistant to it because I thought it was like that stuffy period drama type thing. Like
And you also said fuck opera and fuck ballet.
you know what? Me and Timmy, that's just how we feel. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. Uh but I really did. Like I knew like the baselines of what the movie was about, but just like thinking, okay, this is set in like the 17 and 1800s. Look at the costumes, like, oh, it's going to be one of those stuffy movies. And then you look and it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes long, at least the cut we watched. And I knew people really liked it, but I always thought it was going to be one that I would watch and not click with like others do, just because, like you both said, that's not my preferred type of genre. But I agree. I was actually in on this very, very early. Christian, when I texted you and was like, this makeup is good, I was already in. It's like the second scene of the movie when you walk in and you see F. Murray Abraham in that old makeup, and it's like movies today don't even do it that well. It looks so good, and everything about the movie looks good. It's a like the craft on display is unbelievable. And yet despite that, it's the story and the characters that stick with me afterwards.
I mean, even his score is like, because all the score itself is all Mozart score. Like
Right.
that's all that they use in here, but they use it so fucking well
Yes.
that every little bit of it works exactly where it's supposed to work too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. I just think there's a lot of ideas and like narrative choices in this that are kind of surprising and that like really strike a chord with me. I mean, how boring would this be if they just made, like you said, a hoity-toity biopic about Mozart? But no, it's not just about Mozart. It's also about Salieri, and you have that conflict between the two. And it's also about an artist that, like you said, doesn't take himself too seriously, but is also having to fight against societal standards and ordeals and those set by the ruling class over what art is supposed to be. Um, and I also just like that, like, the character of Mozart is portrayed as certainly a genius, but also a goofball and kind of a dweeb. And it's just like, it's so much more exciting that way. And F. Murray Abraham, you know, really counters that really well. And what I also like is that as much as he is a hater of Mozart, there's never any doubt in his mind in the movie who the better composer is.
Absolutely.
He knows Mozart is better. He
And it
knows
really-
he's a genius.
I mean, it really is said in that scene where he's reading the composition and just drops all the papers on the ground. And it's just like, yes, he's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. And like that scene, like you mentioned, where he's like, Mozart is like dictating to him what to put on the page. And you can see like Mozart hears the music in his head. And Salieri is just like watching him in complete awe. But that awe is mixed with hatred and jealousy.
Right.
And it's perfect.
Like, you two don't write music, right?
No.
God, no.
I wonder if that's like a thing. Like, actual composers can just do that in their heads without having paper in front of them.
Oh, for sure. Because,
And it just comes to you.
I mean, there's people like Dave Grohl and Bob Dylan who've just been like, they can't read music, but they know how to play it.
Oh, wow.
I have heard that, yeah. But no, it's a great movie. I also like the stuff about how like Salieri, it consumes him so much that he thinks it's an act of God. And so he's not just fighting against like Mozart and his own jealousy, but against God because this is what he dictated. And talking about like where it ranks in Best Pictures, I actually hadn't put it on my list yet, but I'm looking now, and it's also top 20 for me as of right now. So
Nice. Before I thought Brett had seen this because he mentioned something, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I can spoil shit." Family Guy is like
I didn't.
oddly fans of this film because they featured it now twice in the show. One of which is Stewie writes a better novel than Brian, and Brian does the whole reading the paper thing and then dropping it on the ground. But then the most famous thing is Stewie playing the piano and Peter is Salieri, and he tells him to play Peter Griffin, and he does the exact same thing, and we flash forward to an old Peter, and he's like, it was not them who were laughing at me, it was God.
I think I remember that one.
It's so funny that show has like an Amadeus thing to it. But yeah, I also told Zay to make sure that they watch the correct version because there is a filmed remake of this from like 2 years ago. So,
I saw there's a TV series.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember there was a TV series.
With Will Sharp, who was in White Lotus, and Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
No,
So,
did not watch that.
good job. There's 5 episodes of that.
Good. That's about as many as there should be.
But yeah, this is Amadeus. It's a very, I don't know. I think that it's one of those where you very much hesitate before you even try. And then it's like, yeah, no, this is great.
Flies by too. Like
It really does.
it's a really well-paced movie.
I really wish that they would have put Tom Hulce into like supporting so that they both would have won. Because like that just would have been fun as hell to have them both win.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
What all did it win?
It won Picture, Director, F. Murray Abraham for Actor, Adapted Screenplay, Art Direction, Costume Design, Makeup, and Sound. It did not win for Tom Hulce, for Cinematography, and for Editing. It also didn't win the BAFTA.
Probably, well,
Because
we
it's
won't
not
go
British.
Jeffrey Jones was nominated for this for a Golden Globe.
I did see that. I guess my last thought is I was reading that this has received some criticism over the years because of the historical accuracy slash inaccuracy. I don't care. It's entertaining, and it's not a documentary. I mean, there are some movies where it's important to, I think, hold some standards of historical record and whatnot, but I don't know. I think this one is more interested in the people and the themes and the ideas, and so I think it works.
This is even though it's not like, the most 100% accurate, it's funny that in watching this, and then like I said to you too, we watched Judy last night, and this is quite literally, they don't make them like they used to situation, because Toby was like, how accurate do you think Judy is? And I said, we're in the era where Bohemian Rhapsody wins a bunch of shit. We don't make these types of biopics anymore.
I mean, was Bohemian Rhapsody accurate?
No, it goes into the category of no.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
You know who else?
But yeah.
You know who else is in this movie? Cynthia Nixon.
Yeah. That was wild when she showed up.
But
Zay, do you know who Cynthia Nixon is?
Yes, I know who Cynthia Nixon is.
Are you a Miranda or are you a Charlotte?
But I was going to say, I think, but at the same time, I think people's criticism of it not being accurate at this point, I think it's like the third thing you hear when someone talks, is like, it wasn't really that accurate to real life. And I'm like, I think we know that at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's
right.
so...
It's like, not to be that person. I wasn't around in the 1700s, so...
Yeah, no. And it's like, yeah, literally there's so much pretense as to the separation that they're clearly intending to have in there, that's not educational.
Like, you're talking about the American accents. I think, especially Elizabeth Barrage, like, when she talks in the movie, she sounds like you would expect a young woman to sound like in 1984, not trying to come off as someone from that time. And I think it really works. It's charming in a way. So,
Brett, what's your favorite Mozart composition?
Why did you say that like Paul Lind?
Thank you. That's what I was going for. Brett, do you know who Paul Lind is?
I don't think so.
That is so sad.
But the name rings a bell.
Did you see the Nicole Kidman Bewitched?
Yes.
Steve Carell is playing him.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I knew I had to do... I had to know where Brett... I know that was the movie theater in his hometown, and that was the only movie that week, and he went to see it.
Brett, do you know Roger the Alien from American Dad?
Yes.
That's Paul Lind.
Well...
Is it?
That's Paul Lind's inspiration.
Really? Didn't know that.
Yes, like everything that Roger does is Paul Lind.
Alcoholic, homosexual, miserable, fabulous. You should watch the Paul Lind Halloween special. We're making you this year.
Talk about a misunderstood artist.
The Paul Lind Halloween special.
Oh.
It's so good.
Betty White, Kiss, Margaret Hamilton.
Wow.
Florence Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie and Marie.
I mean, I'm certainly interested.
He plays a trucker. Yeah. Okay. Well, next movie, eh? So, I was always going to pick Amadeus for this and you two have also touched upon the theme, so we'll talk about it obviously more with this one. I was always going to pick Amadeus. It was the next movie where I was like, what am I going to pick? Because I have 3 possible options. And it came down to this one because my friend was actually willing to listen to this podcast if we talked about this one. But I'm like, you know what? It worked. So our next film is one from just a few years ago, 2021, directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who, when we get to honorable mention movies or ones that relate, we're going to talk about a little bit too. But it is Tick, Tick, Boom. And this too is a biographical film about the life of Jonathan Larson. Jonathan Larson giving us both Tick, Tick, Boom, which is, his life, but also a little musical that really changed the shape of Broadway in the late 90s called Rent. One that I think everybody starts out loving. But then slowly, as you become older, you say, wait a minute, hold up, stop right there. You could just get a job instead of bitching about it. Brett's never seen Rent,
I've never seen it, but
motherfucker.
I feel like I've seen it through the two of you, for as much as
Okay.
you two mention it.
Well, that works, I guess. So, in any case, Tick, Tick, Boom, biographical, Jonathan Larson, played by Andrew Garfield here, who I think is exceptional in this film. Okay. If Will Smith wasn't like the odds-on favorite that year for that movie where he slapped the tennis ball or whatever it was, I think Andrew would have had a chance here. But Jonathan Larson was a waiter in New York City, down on his luck, wanted to make a name for himself, wanted to make a difference to the community, the theater community, and wrote a show that he thought, hey, I can make this work, get into Broadway, called Superbia, which I looked into this. This is like an actual show that he made, and I think it's never been actually produced on stage because as I read after watching this, Lin-Manuel Miranda said it would be too hard because it's not all the way complete. It's not fleshed out like it should be, and it's just very complex in nature. But in the 90s, Jonathan Larson said, it could work. It's just a matter of getting it out there to people that can help me and make a difference with it. But through this too, we're also seeing Jonathan's life of living this kind of bohemian lifestyle of, he lives in a rundown apartment building. Like I said, he's a waiter. His friends are awesome people to him. They love him. But at the same time, they're like, dude, you need to settle down and you need to figure out what you're going to do with your life. One of his friends was an actor turned corporate world person, which, by the way, that character of Michael, played by Robin DeJesus, I looked up who he's based upon, and I was very, very happy to find out that his character, he is diagnosed with HIV/AIDS, but his character that he's based upon is still alive. So he's still alive and telling Jonathan's story whenever he can, because Jonathan's story is still pretty much out there, especially because of Rent and everything. But like Amadeus, I guess it is a case of a man wanting to be great and making a name for himself by changing the trajectory of what it is to write a show and write a musical. But it's also life getting in the way of saying, there's going to be terrible pitfalls for you. And eventually, Jonathan Larson does pass away in real life before, okay, I'll say this even though I'm not the biggest fan, before his masterpiece that is Rent is put on stage and then becomes the Hamilton of the day. Rent was a cultural thing. It was on magazines. It was in news of any sort you could go to. The tickets were outrageous for the time. But also Rent and Jonathan's legacy talks about giving back to the youth and college kids and those wanting to make it big. So I know that from the history of Rent, the first 2 rows were always sold at a very cheaper rate, specifically to college kids that were out there so that they could see it and they could understand what Jonathan was doing and what he wanted from writing shows and all that. But I think Andrew Garfield in this does a really fantastic job of setting us up to really feel the compassion for this guy and feeling like, I want to be in this guy's corner, even though compared to making movies, let's say, making musicals is a very hard thing. Like, one of his biggest influences and his eventual mentor is Sondheim. Like, for your Sondheim lesson for the day, it was hard for Sondheim to have a very big hit. Okay, West Side Story was not a hit by any means. It comes out the same year as The Music Man. People flocked to The Music Man. Okay, West Side Story was considered extreme for the day. All right, crazy to think about. But it's like similar, I guess, to Amadeus in a way. People like Jonathan. They like what he has to say. It's just a matter, in his case, of being that person, so to speak. But this is a musical too, so like it's told through song mostly, which I up until this point I did not realize that Andrew Garfield could sing. He's a great singer in this. I really like Lin-Manuel's direction of this too. A lot of people owed him some favors because he has every single Broadway star cameo you could ever imagine in this movie. I mean, I don't know about you two, but I'm sitting on the couch like Leonardo DiCaprio pointing and being like, there's that person and there's that person. So, yeah, I don't know. I like this film. I got to see it in theaters, which is awesome. Yeah, no, I saw it in theaters because I was like, I'm taking this one opportunity. The theaters were opening up again. And I said, we're going to go see this. But this is only my second time ever seeing this movie.
Same.
Which
is crazy because you love this movie a lot more than I do. I don't dislike it. You just love it.
Oh, yeah, okay. But yeah, that's Tick, Tick, Boom. I think this is a better show than Rent is. There, I'll say it.
I think I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree.
At least in this, the quote-unquote whining of like, I want to do something better for myself and make my name known is more practical than in Rent.
Sure.
In Rent, they could just get a job, but continue.
I think with Rent, though, that is the simplistic way of looking at it. But I think with Rent, though, like those characters are just not fleshed out. I'm just like, okay, and who are you? At least with Jonathan Larson, I'm like, from the get-go, we kind of get it, like, because I like that Happy Birthday song a lot, and I think it really, like, is good groundwork for the rest of the movie. Especially because I guess since we know not the character, no real person dies at a young age as well, that it's just like a little more apt, I think. Um, but yeah, I do like this movie quite a bit. Um, as far as like, I'm not a huge musical person. I like a musical, but um, but I do as much things I have problems with Rent, the way the music sounds, I never had an issue with. And I think I liked Larson's like idea of like changing what the Broadway sound can be. Because I am not a fan of Cat's guy.
Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Yeah, I don't like his influence on Broadway music.
Like what?
Like how people are like, well, we gotta talk like this, and this is what's happening in this blah 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 blah. I think it's
That's not what? That's not what?
what? Someone once told me that was a Weber thing that I need to blame for.
No. You mean like sung through things?
Yeah, that like Broadway sound, that stereotypical sound.
Okay, I'll give you the sung through things, but like
I'm just saying anything from I've heard Cats, I've heard Sunset Boulevard. I don't know.
I will say, having now seen Sunset Boulevard, it doesn't work as a sung through thing. It's weird just to hear them being like, "Hi there, Betty, what are you doing? I'm just going out for a meeting."
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that either.
Gotta run, let's have lunch. Yeah, it was like, whoa, okay, we cannot sing this whole thing. That'd be fine.
But yeah, I do like his like poppy rock influence thing. I could definitely see why.
Which is so weird to me. Sorry to interrupt in this part, but it's so weird because Rent is like a rock opera, essentially. And yet I don't feel like that's the same composer as Rent who wrote Tick, Tick, Boom, because they sound so different to me. You know? Anyway, continue. That's just me.
So yeah, and I can understand why Miranda in particular would be interested in telling this story as another person who has brought his own specific style to his musicals.
I thought you were about to say his own ethnicity.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Just say it. They're rapping on Broadway.
Oh my God. But yeah, so I like especially he knows how to stage a musical. That's an issue I've had with, watching musical movies is sometimes the director just does not know how to stage like a musical piece. And
Like
it's
what?
I don't know, like
Say it.
wait, which one? Am I not thinking of a specific one?
I was thinking you were gonna say John M. Chu.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Brett, for falling under the bus with me. But yeah, it's sort of I don't know. I think Miranda being a stage director also really helped with his framing of things in this, and that's what I really liked.
He's not a stage director, but go on.
Well, whatever. What tech
I guess he has creative input. Okay, there, I'll give you that.
Okay. But the fact he's worked on stage with stagecraft, he has stagecraft behind him.
Okay.
He has familiarity with this sort of thing. And that's what I also appreciate. Just because it's just like the movie does kind of stop for every musical number. And it's just like, no, this is just as important as any narrative part. And I think that's very important. Especially uh basically the halfway point where John and his girlfriend are breaking up slash, whoa, are they gonna get back together? And then she's like, hold on, are you writing a song about this right now in your head?
Hmm.
And I think that is so brilliantly like edited and staged between that happening and what it looks like when he is putting it on stage.
Is that the therapy song
Yes.
with him and Vanessa?
Vanessa
Yeah,
Hudgens. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
I feel like I have more to talk about this movie, but I saw Amadeus like 2 weeks ago now, and I saw Tick Tick Boom just today.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the like I don't know, I guess you would call it a framing device where he's basically telling the story in a theater
Mhm.
and then it starts going out into everything because I didn't know that one of the background singers or one of his backup singers, yes, one is Vanessa Hudgens, the other one is Joshua Henry, which y'all need to go listen to him in Ragtime from this past year. The man is winning a Tony Award. But I digress. So he's playing Roger, who is then named Roger for Rent. Like that's one of the main characters, Roger. But he's playing the character of Roger Bart, who, for you lay people out there, is like the singing voice of Hercules.
Oh.
Oh.
And for the the five people who enjoy the producers, like the 2005 film, he is Carmen Gia, like the common law assistant of Roger Debris.
Mm.
Yeah, but like him and Jonathan Larson, Roger Bart were best friends. So the
Huh.
character of Roger in Rent is named for him.
Oh, I was just thinking the wraparound thing is probably him performing Tick Tick Boom in its original.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that part was I did look it up and I was like, "Oh, they brought this out after Rent? I don't understand." And then I forgot the part where they say he made this musical before Rent, but it probably didn't have,
Well,
like, a Broadway thing until after later.
off-Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, its cultural significance is after Rent, and there's an off-Broadway cast recording of it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I was reading that it changed quite a bit. Like, even after he died, they kind of reworked it a little bit. That's half-assed Wikipedia research, though, so who knows?
I do like that we just learn about the guy and not, like, his like, there's obviously, like, "Hey, this is an idea that's probably gonna get into Rent later," but it doesn't hammer you over the head with it, which
Yeah.
I appreciate. 'Cause I'm like, I'm not exactly asking for subtlety, but I'm also not asking to be hit over the head with it, which I agree appreciate, and it also, I think, if we were to get into that, I think it would get a little murkier, especially just, things people have written about Jonathan Larson and the phenomenon of Rent, since his passing, which, I don't necessarily need to get into as well, but
Yeah, I am also a second-time watch for me. I watched it when it came out in 2021. Did not see it in a theater, but I I liked it quite a bit at the time, but I was curious going in because it was one that I didn't think about a whole lot since then. But after this rewatch, it held up for me quite a bit, and I really like it. Um, Andrew Garfield is not just great in it, but he's great in a way in that, like, I can't see many other people doing this quite like this. The only one that really came to mind for me was Mike Feist. I think Mike Feist could do this really well. But, like, Andrew Garfield, I think, is kind of singular in that, I mean, not just that he looks like Jonathan Larson, but he really has that energy. And like you said, Christian, like, he can sing. Um, but I also do really like the framing device. There's a lot of ways that Lin-Manuel Miranda could have gone about adapting this. And I think, like, of all the scenarios, he probably landed on the best one with kind of mixing the, you know, performing Tick Tick Boom on stage while also presenting the life story alongside it. It's surprising how well it works in terms of mixing the music with the spoken dialogue that's going on alongside it, especially in that therapy scene between him and Alexandra Shipp's character. That's something that, like, I I think it's hard to pull off in a way that is not distracting, and it flows really well. I think the movie is really, really well edited, and it got a Best Editing nom at the Oscars, and I think that's deserved. It just it flows so nicely, and it's a movie that should be jarring, and in maybe some ways it is in an intentional way, but it doesn't feel like that. Um, but no, like you said, Jonathan Larson's just an interesting character, and I like that it is able to combine this idea of, like, struggling artist who is trying to get by and trying to write this big song for this piece that he's been working on for a long time, but is also a little full of himself, maybe. I really like. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's or maybe this. I don't actually remember if this one is a song, but it's with him and Robin DeJesus are talking about how, like, Michael DeJesus' character is like, you know, don't judge me for being in the corporate world because I didn't want to struggle through life. And keep in mind that, like, you're giving up a life partner and it's extremely difficult for me to have one. And at the same time, you got Larson's perspective of, like, this is what I've dreamed for and I can't give up now,
Oh, yeah,
you
I think
know?
that they're just talking in that scene because I remember him saying, like, "I can't have kids, I can't get married,"
Yeah.
things like that.
I was thinking of the scene later where after it's revealed that Michael has HIV. Um, but I really like that idea. I think that the movie is extremely appreciative of Jonathan Larson, but also is trying to capture the fullness of who he was as a person. And not that there's anything, like, necessarily bad about him, but, like, yeah, he's like I said, he could be a little bit full of himself. He's one of those artists too. Um,
I mean, like Amadeus, he thinks that he's better than everybody.
yeah.
I
I do
mean,
think
it's said it many times, but he's like, I want to be just like Sondheim, but like I said, Sondheim didn't have a big hit right off the bat. It took a while for him to really get started and get going and stuff. So it's like you just have to you have to really sit back and accept things for as they are, especially because musical theater is a very hard business to get into.
Mhm.
Especially nowadays when everything on Broadway, like on Broadway, not off Broadway, but on Broadway is either revivals or movies turned into musicals because they're safe.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's always something that I see like new Broadway show and I'm like, they turned that into a Broadway show? Okay.
The Lost Boys, the musical, opens in a few weeks.
Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
God. Okay.
And then Beaches, the musical, opens up in a few weeks.
Okay.
This is a very mild critique, and I don't even know if it's a critique of the movie because I don't know how you would make it work. But as I was watching, I couldn't help but wish that I knew a little bit more about Superbia because so much of the film derives around the creation of that, and it's kind of presented as this like thing that nobody can wrap their heads around, and that's probably true. But I'm just thinking of the scene where like the song, the "Come to Your Senses" song, and that's a very powerful scene, and it's powerful in terms of like Jonathan Larson and his girlfriend and like their relationship. But I don't know. I would kind of like to know more about the extra dimension that song would have for Superbia, because it kind of builds up to that moment, and I don't know, but it's a small thing.
The scripts, the sheet music, and the demos are in the Library of Congress
Oh,
There you
and can
go.
be viewed upon request. Just FYI there, I don't know. Like I said, they said it'd be too complex to put together and everything. It's really interesting how Sondheim was like Sondheim's in this, by the way, as both a character and in the voice recording at the end. Like I've read that the only way that they could get him was he was like, I want to just do a voice recording. And that's how they got him in this. But like how he was such an influence to both Lin-Manuel Miranda and Jonathan Larson. I mean, he's the one that told Lin-Manuel Miranda, people will see the rapping on Broadway. They'll get it.
Nice. I also think that the Richard Kind scene is very funny.
oh, so good.
Do you know who Richard Kind's best friend is?
Is it you?
I wish. It's George Clooney.
I love
Oh.
that.
Him and George Clooney were roommates. Here's your fun fact for the day.
Do you think Richard Kind was upset he didn't get like the Adam Sandler role in Jay Kelly? He'd be good in that.
I'm not familiar with the film, so
You didn't see Jay Kelly?
it wasn't nominated for anything, so I didn't have to see it.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Um, did y'all have the same emotions during the Sunday scene with all the stars as I did? Or were you just like, that's cool, I'm sure they're famous?
It's that because I know that
Yeah.
scene has a lot of people in it. And I know who like Joel Grey is, but I don't know what he looks like now. So it's
That's what he looks like now.
well, yeah, and I'm just like, so I'm not going to be able to identify him off the bat. And then, yeah, Bernadette, of course, I recognized her.
I recognized her, and I recognized, is it Philippa? Philippa Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I recognized her just because of Hamilton and other stuff. I mean, I've seen her online and stuff.
I'm picking more musicals to watch for this show.
I was reading afterwards, and I was surprised that I didn't. But then again, I guess I don't really know what she looks like now, but I saw that BB Newworth was also part of it, and I don't know.
You know who
I missed
BB
her.
Newworth is?
I love Cheers.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think
Yeah.
about that. Okay, that's Lilith.
You acted like you just said Lisa Rinna.
I didn't realize that he liked Cheers that much. I'm sorry, I'm a Frasier person, so that's Lilith.
Oh, fair.
But yeah, that's Tick Tick Boom.
I like that they're upstandingly straight guys, but they got a little fruity with it.
What?
They got a little fruity with it. I don't know. Anytime I see Andrew
Who?
Garfield, I'm like, he's put a little fruit in this performance.
Oh. I mean, probably. His mom is played by the lady who did Pocahontas' singing voice, just FYI.
Oh.
Oh, Judy Kuhn? Or is that the...
That's right.
Wow. That's because I had I had the Pocahontas songs on my iPod back in the day.
Okay. I like you.
Oh my god. Take that, Brett. I'm back in the good seat.
I'll be back
Oh,
there soon,
shit.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
My
This ends
favorite-
too with like performances from the actual performance of
Oh.
Jonathan in Tick Tick Boom, which I think is nice to
Yeah.
actually be like, hey, that's the guy.
My favorite note that I took while watching this was that I've seen at least 2 movies where Andrew Garfield's character has to clean up smelly shit. Between this and 99 Homes.
Oh,
Never
I think there's
seen
a
99
Spider-Man
Homes.
2.
Or maybe he does in that too. I don't know.
I don't remember 99 Homes, but I've seen
It's
it.
been sitting in my Hoopla watch list probably since 2016. It's still there. It's still available to rent, if I ever choose to do so.
There you go.
That scene sticks with me. Ugh.
You know, while watching this, I had to search, did Idina Menzel like actually meet Jonathan Larson? Because the way that they frame the story of Rent every time I hear it is that they didn't meet him, but they all met him, which is weird to me. Brett, do you know the story of like the first opening night of Rent?
I don't think so.
Like he died.
Like he died that day, didn't he?
That day.
Like, yeah.
And so they all went to the theater to perform it and they sat down to start it, but then they're like, this is not what he would have wanted. And they put on the whole show. With that's so wild. Like the one show that's going to change your life, you die the day it starts.
Yeah. Brutal.
But also, if you wouldn't have died, would Rent have been as big as it was?
I did wonder that looking at like the Tony when the Tony wins.
The Tony. There's only 2 musicals nominated that year.
Okay. Fair enough. Never mind. I didn't know that much.
I remember when this came out, Robin DeJesus was having a little bit of a moment because he had this and The Boys in the Band, both like Netflix movies. And I think he's great in both of those. I don't think he's been in a movie since Tick Tick Boom, but I would like to see him in more stuff.
I also got my Tony Award years wrong. I'm sorry, everybody out there. There's only 2 musicals nominated the prior year to Rent. Sunset Boulevard or Smokey Joe's Cafe. Rent's biggest competition that year, though, was a musical called Bring in Da Noise, Bring in Da Funk. But it also only won 4 awards, which that's still kind of crazy because that's low for me. I don't know. But he won 3. And then he won the Pulitzer Prize. Think about that. Would he have won that if he didn't die?
Yeah, that does seem a bit much for Rent.
But yeah, that's Tick Tick Boom. Which now I'm realizing that's what Zay's name is here, but it's something different.
You didn't realize what that was.
I thought it was like dun 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 dun, but I think that's Beethoven. That's not Amadeus. Anyway, other movies that fit the bill of what I was going for here, which I think we got, were like men who want to be the best and who are creative geniuses but die early. Perfect. So, other ones though are Inside Llewyn Davis.
I put that more so like I was thinking about Salieri, and he's like kind of mediocre but really close to greatness. Especially because at the end of Inside Llewyn Davis, he walks out and Bob Dylan is playing. And it's like Llewyn Davis is like the other guy in the movie. But also there's a line, sorry, just real quick. There's a line in Inside Llewyn Davis, which is delivered by F. Murray Abraham, where he tells Llewyn, I'm not seeing much money here. and it's like a really like hard-hitting line in the movie. And in Tick, Tick, Boom, his manager tells him start writing the next one after the Superbia thing. And I thought those two lines kind of reflected each other.
Nice. God, you love that movie.
I do.
It's a good movie.
It is. Our next one is one that is filmed. It was also on stage. And if Brett had not seen it beforehand, then we would have watched this one. It is Sunday in the Park with George. And it is about the artist George Seurat, who made the painting masterpiece Sunday on the Island of Le Grand Jatte, which is a beautiful painting, very famous in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, of course. But it, again, is about a man who's an artist who wants to be great, and everybody else is like, your artwork is meh at best. And now it's like one of the most world-renowned paintings. I mean, shit, it's on my phone cover. So, like, you know.
I mean, he drew that lady
yeah.
with that booty.
Her name is Dot.
Mm.
Oh, that's right. You didn't watch it, did you? Like I asked.
No.
I have it logged on
Wow.
Letterboxd. Christian made sure that I did that.
Mm-hmm. Ariana Grande going to be in the revival in the West End next year.
Nice.
People are going to be shocked that the show is not a very thrilling show. And it is a very, like, spiritual show. Anyway, then another one that I thought of like picking for us, but I didn't, was Steve Jobs from 2015. Talk about somebody who wanted to be great, really did get to see his greatness, and then died relatively young. But the Steve Jobs with Michael Fassbender, not the Ashton Kutcher one.
That's just Jobs.
That's just Jobs, yeah. Another one that is filmed that I made sure both Heckle and Jekyll here got to see at some point in their lives was Hamilton, which Zay called a masterpiece among riches. My God, I would see this on Broadway if I could.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that just seems racist to me, Zay. Mm-hmm. Hamilton, though, I mean, they sing the whole, like, why do you write like you're running out of time? And look what happens to him. Another one I thought about earlier today was Sound of Metal. I mean, his time running out is he's starting to lose his hearing, and that's like his whole thing. Like, he's a drummer. God, I love that film. I have not seen that. I have not seen that since 2021. That is one I need to rewatch again. Another one that is about obsession is Black Swan. We love Black Swan, maybe. I don't know. Brett, have you ever seen it?
Mm-hmm. I think I give it 5 stars.
Oh, okay.
And there's a rivalry in that one too. So
there is a rivalry. Is it a heated rivalry? I don't know.
Oh, well, kind of.
Kind of.
I took my dad to see that movie with me.
Did he like it?
He did.
Mm.
Another movie about men wanting to be great. Jazz is dying. And I, a white man, want to save it. It's La La Land.
There is some Jonathan Larson in that character now that you say that.
Oh, for sure.
Right. I should have put B-movie also, because one of us watched B-movie recently. And that scene where he's like, you like jazz?
There was a person in the room who had never seen it before. And he was like so upset because he knew that line. But he was like, he doesn't actually say it to her. And he wanted to see her reaction.
Another movie, Rent. Zay probably has many stories of them showing Rent at the theater. Or just in general.
Yeah.
That movie's long.
That's
it is a
the
long
thing
movie.
Is I hate to do long movies for that show because I will feel it most of the time. And God, did I feel it for Rent.
It's so interesting, though, because if you watch Rent filmed on Broadway, because there's a professional shot of it, and it is all sung through, it does not feel long. But the way that it is made as a feature film by Chris Columbus, you feel like when he got on the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria and sailed across the world, like it feels that fucking long. And they don't sing, they talk through it too. We should watch Rent sometime. No.
No.
Okay. Somebody put All That Jazz.
That feels good.
Yeah.
I would
Joe
put that
Gideon's
down.
he's further along, but struggling to produce a work of art and dies at the end.
Which technically, I mean, it is a true story too.
Yeah.
Bob, what I watched a video the other day. It's Bob Fosse. It's not Fosse.
Is it really?
And of course, it's not.
No.
Oh.
And of course, the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
I thought I can't edit because my phone is literally at its end, and I had to delete my Google Doc app to make room. I have a new phone.
It's a long
coming.
ass story.
I know. That's why I couldn't add anything to this today. But I was also thinking of the Star is Born movies. Also, not necessarily based on real people, but similar.
I have to ask, since one of us here is an artist and performs shows,
Sure.
your perspective of life and wanting to be great.
I gave that up a while ago. I mean, I as an art when I first started out, I had great hopes and whatever of doing something big and whatever, and then I realized I was like, I think it's pretty cool that I just do things for people in Indiana, and people in Indiana seem to think it's cool. Why dream for something bigger if what I have is pretty cool? Especially because the idea of becoming a huge superstar or whatever, I'm like, that's way more responsibility than I could ever want.
Do you think that you'll go at an early age?
It's always a possibility, isn't it?
And what is your relationship with your family
Not good.
and this world you call art?
Christian's trying to delay my announcement of the next films.
Well, we're looking for films all over this place on diners, drive-ins, and dives.
What the fuck?
Look, I have to make myself laugh, okay? But yeah, those are my 2 picks. I hope you liked them.
All
I did.
right. Okay.
Okay, well, let me preface
Okay,
this.
okay.
So, it was my idea, and
sure.
Brett was all like, I don't know, you guys watch everything in the world. And I was like,
That was a
shut
good
up.
Brett as Dylan.
What?
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know. It's blowing in the wind.
All right, in any case, the theme for the next 3 sessions? Yeah, sessions? Oops. I mean,
Freudian.
episodes.
Therapy going on here.
Are movies that neither 3 of us have seen before. So that's 2, 4, 6 movies that are completely new to the 3 of us.
I had to make sure that you guys did not log these movies, but it would be crazy if you did.
Let me tell you something.
Mhm.
This is already hard because of the one who just spoke. Okay? They watch movies at work. They watch movies on the toilet. They watch movies in the tub. They watch movies while they're sleeping with one eye open and half their brain operating. They watch movies when they're getting their hair blow dried and the subtitles are on. Okay, I have to check their letterbox every day to see if I'm picking something or if I'm letting it go.
That wasn't entirely true. I can't get my hair blow dried. I have psoriasis.
I feel like that's for therapy.
I have a question
Yes.
Oh,
about
God.
this exercise.
Okay.
Okay, so I started logging in Letterboxd in 2015.
Okay.
And, if I come across movies I've seen, I'll, click watch, but I've never, gone through and, tried to mark every single film I've seen, pre-2015. And we
have.
don't know what we're going to say. So let's say Zay announces a movie and I saw it in like
Well,
2012.
then we gotta. Well, let's just say if you were seeing these movies in 2012, you have some splaining to do.
Okay.
That means that they're modern.
Yeah, that's all I need to hear.
All right, you ready?
No.
Okay. So, something I'm very interested in as a phenomenon in
God.
movies is pop stars getting to be involved in making movies and weird passion projects that come from those things. So with the first one, we are staying
Your face is making me scared.
we are staying in the year 2021 with this first film, and we are going to be watching Music by Sia.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Are you
No.
serious?
No. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't want to hear shit about dodgeball ever again.
Oh,
Are you fucking kidding me?
no.
I have to watch music?
Yep. You're going to hate the second one too.
Oh my God. Oh, it has a 1.3.
This next one is a higher rated film.
I regret this.
From last year. None of us saw it. It is a movie by one of the biggest pop stars in the world. And when people saw this movie, everyone said, fuck off.
Oh my God, it's the Weeknd's movie, isn't it?
It's Hurry Up Tomorrow.
No.
I have to ask, with Hurry Up Tomorrow, how do you expect us to watch it?
I don't know. The library probably has it, right? Wait,
My
did that
stomach
come out on
hurts.
DVD?
It does not come out on Blu-ray until May.
What do you mean?
It
Why are
says
they
May
waiting
16th. Oh, wait, no, wait. Nope, it came out already. Now I have to see if the library even owns this. They wouldn't own something like this. They don't. Now I have to rent this.
Okay.
This is wild. Y'all. Music is on Canopy.
Yeah, that one I knew was on
That's
streaming.
wild to me.
What made you pick these?
Again, I am very interested in what brings a pop star into the cinematic world. And I was thinking about it, and then I was like, I've been meaning to watch Music. And then we did this whole thing of what if we picked movies we haven't seen? And I was like, none of y'all have seen Music. And
I
then
should've
the
saw
Weeknd
Music.
movie was the second one I thought of, with just like rancid vanity projects.
Man.
Well,
I'm excited to.
I'm kind of looking forward to it, honestly.
I'm excited that I killed the podcast.
so you've seen like Glitter before?
Yeah, I've seen Glitter.
Damn it. Okay.
Glitter's not even that bad. It's just a little boring.
Well, there we go. Our series finale.
Oh, man.
And what's funny is if you do take revenge out on me, you also have to watch whatever movie you come up with.
That's true.
It's true.
Wonder if there's any Disney movies I haven't seen that you haven't seen.
Song of the Oh, you've seen Song of the South, actually.
I have many times. Well, there we go.
Rate, review, subscribe, follow us.
Pray for us.
Goodbye, y'all.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye.
Get out of here.